Yo, what is up everyone? Super Gaming Fun here, and today I would like to talk about is the Game Boy Color, the Nintendo Game Boy Color that came out in 1998, is it worth it in 2019? This thing, to be specific, this amazing system, it's awesome. It takes two AA batteries, great games, but is it the perfect handheld to have in 2019? I wouldn't say it's the perfect handheld. I mean, we got things like the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS, which is pretty much dying. You know, the 3DS is dying, but you know what? I still play it. I don't care. I mean, like, I got into the 3DS line back in 2015, so I don't care. But, I had a pretty good run with it, but yeah. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Is the Game Boy Color worth it in 2019? Yes and no. Has it aged poorly? A little bit, just a little bit. Only one problem, it just has no backlight. That's the problem. That's why I say it ages a little bit poorly. But overall, it's a great system. I love it. I like holding this thing. I love the buttons. I love the buttons more than the Game Boy Advance SP, to be exact. But does it still hold up in 2019? Well, yes. It has a great library of games. You can play Super Mario Bros., Mega Man Extreme, well, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe to be exact. So I'm going to show you what games you can basically play on it. You can play Game Boy Color. This is a black cartridge. Some games have black cartridge, which are supported for Game Boy Color, but can also be played on the original Game Boy too, and Game Boy Pocket and etc. Mortal Kombat 2. This is the original Game Boy. This is backwards compatible with the Game Boy Color, so it can play it in a default color, and you can, like, when you turn it on with the original Game Boy cartridge, you can, like, press random buttons to get an array of colors, and yeah, that's pretty cool. This is a clear Game Boy cartridge. This is only for Game Boy Color, but you can also play this on a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, not on a Game Boy Micro. That's why that Game Boy is very terrible. Anyways, this is a clear cartridge that can be played on a Game Boy Color. If you were literally back in 1998, if you had original Game Boy and if you wanted to play some Men in Black, you were out of luck because there was no way to play it on the original Game Boy because it doesn't have that latch thing to clip on to on the cartridge. So yeah, some clear Game Boy Color cartridges doesn't have a save feature. Usually you can either beat it in one run or just use password features on these type of games, but yeah. And the clear cartridge of this one, it has a battery, a save battery. Those save batteries can pretty much run dry, and you'll have to replace it. Yeah, that's just why I usually get games without the save feature and all that stuff, because I don't feel like dealing with this. But since I really love the Yu-Gi-Oh series, I got it anyway. But it's a great system overall. Do I recommend it in 2019? Yeah, pretty much. If you're into retro games and you can deal with it, I recommend this completely. I recommend this more than the original Game Boy, to be honest. Now, I'm going to let you know, if you have big hands like me, it can get very uncomfortable to hold this thing while playing it. Like, I was playing Mega Man and it was kind of hard to play with it, but I really didn't care. But if that makes you uncomfortable, you can get with the original Game Boy, I guess. That's up to you, whatever suits your needs, but the Game Boy Color overall is a great system. I love it over the original. I love it over the Pocket. It has a battery cover. It can last a lot of hours. It can last up to like 15 hours, I believe. It's just a great system. It's awesome. Yeah. Start, select button, D-pad. That D-pad is like, oh my gosh, I love that D-pad. I mean, listen to this. Blech. It's weird. I enjoy this more than the Advance sometimes. Like, sometimes I enjoy the Advance because I force myself to, because, you know, the Advance is great, but, like, playing with the buttons on that is like, but with this, it's everything to me. Anyways, yeah. So do I recommend it? Yeah. But there are a lot of good options out there for if you want to get into the Game Boy library. There's Emulator, which is kind of dying, but thanks to Nintendo, but you know, whatever. There's Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance can play pretty much every Game Boy. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, this original Game Boy. This is like the ultimate Game Boy. But if you want to be really retro, you could get along with this, I guess. So is the Game Boy worth it? And I know I keep saying that. Yes, it's worth it in my book. This is a great system. As the years go by, this system will just be great. Like, I don't think this system will never die. Like, in people's hearts. I mean, like, this thing is awesome. So yes, I recommend you get it. You can get it for cheap, like around like $20, $30. Make sure you get one that's in good condition and well working. Make sure, but if it messes up, that's on you. I have nothing to do with that. This one is alright. It has like a power switch problem. Not power switch, but basically when it turns on, it's basically like the battery spring is a little messed up. But hey, I deal with it anyway. But make sure that's also, you know, good too. Because when I got this, my friend gave this to me, and the battery spring was like messed up on the inside, so my dad replaced it with another battery spring. But yeah. Yes, the Game Boy Color is a great system. I recommend you get it, but if you don't want to get it, you can get the original Game Boy, but if you don't want to get that with the crappy green screen, you can get this amazing thing, the Game Boy Advance SP. I recommend you at least get the 001 since it's cheaper, but if you want better, you can get the the 101 model, which has the backlight, like smartphones. So yes, the Game Boy Color is worth it in 2019. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Later.